Greetings. Welcome to the StrangeNet. My name is Dojel. I am, have been, and always will be your very own stranger. And today, we are going into Port Noon and ending this journey. Or at least, as far as this run is concerned. Port Noon awaits. I don't remember why we were summoning the Caligine. I'm just gonna assume I was gonna sacrifice it for something. Would it be fair to say that it's probably a sacrifice for, No, because I need more forge for that, and two... I guess I can summon a raw prophet for now. Let's summon Azim. Let's get this show on the road. Hi, Faye. I gotta move my chat window up a little so I can properly see you. Kill that before it gets snatched up by something. Well, that's a great start. The team's being out dick already. Not that I intend to fix any more mirrors. Because quite frankly, fuck that. Now let's try this again. See if Mr. Azim actually wants to cooperate. You're a bit early, Hunter. I'm not committing any crimes yet. Mr. Azim, the second firstly. I'm just gonna summon a raw prophet, I think. But I can send him ahead at least. A Raven Isle, an extinct volcano lifts its head from the fervid tangle of emerald jungle. Immortals fallen to the vilest crime of their kind are exiled here to roost, guzzling the blood and cracking the bones of unwary travelers. They must have acquired some interesting toys over the years. The chiefest peril of Raven Isle is the Sukoyans, the fallen immortals, but the way there across the sea will be hard, and the isle is full of voices which carry the curse of visions. Yeah, they probably all have curses, don't they? And I should probably consider summoning King Crimson. Or would Teresa be easier? Well, would definitely be easier. Would it be worthwhile is the real question. Miss Golmier. Let's see. Heart of Forge Sukians. One might mistake them for old women until they discard their skins. The place is a swarm with them. They are as strong as strangling roots and at least half long, but they can be deceived and they are very, very wary of light. So that says Lantern, this says Heart of Winter, so I guess I'm sending some Heart fellas for now. See if we can. Let's see if we can't convince Teresa to come along. Or if you prefer, Teresa. We call upon the sister and witch who cannot be separated. And who cannot be touched. Storms rise for the Thunderskin and subside for the sister. The right words should carry us safe across the sea. Let's see if we can convince Miss Galmier to join us here. Alright. That's the wrong way around. You need a lot of this and a little bit of this. Wave lashed and sea spattered, sun scorched and salt stained, but here. Now unfortunately, the Baldemarian is much more kind than the other two names are, and will not try and fight us. That's also kind of, well, I wouldn't say kind per se, but definitely less hostile. I'm gonna fix my mirrors though. If for no other reason then I will have a proper mirror to read the flavor text off later. The night air rattles with them. Duck low. They are much too strong to be fought, but we may be able to deceive them or drive them off with Mansa's light. And therefore we call upon the watchman who illuminates. Hello, Elusive. How are you? They won't come close. They call out taunts in the voices of carrion birds and children. They rattle the treetops. They fling stones from the dark. But they won't come close. We will pass. Wipe that off my board before it becomes problematic. And something I've probably started too late, I should have been getting started on my curse insurance. And now I just pray I don't get XCOM'd. Wouldn't be an enormous loss, but still. And the verdict is that I didn't get XCOM'd. Woohoo. I'll take that though. That'll just be my curse insurance for the next expedition, which will also throw a curse at me, almost certainly. A mountain cave befouled with sucuyas. On the walls they have scrawled their sad histories in 100 languages, in script of striking elegance, the creatures they were, the histories they owned, the children they bore. At the back of the cave, the Sukians have made some sort of museum nest. The fine clothes they wore once, adorned now with raven feathers. A little miscellany of cameo portraits and rotting family albums. A few items of power. The Chalice Murmurous. I'm just gonna hazard a guess that there's gonna be one of these per aspect. Anyway, St. Trento of the Deep Door. A monastery sank grimly to a cliff edge. It should have fallen into the sea by now. But we have read the monks drown. No, this one. The monks drown victims in a deep pool beneath to win the sister and witch's protection from the sea. One more year. One more year. The monks of Saint Trento will not be inclined to allow us to pass. They will hide their treasures well, and if we manage to seize them, no doubt they will pursue us with curses. That's written in Vok, that's written in Vok, it's all written in Vok. Wonderful. The itinerant scholar Shohei debated 5 possible origins for humanity, with a hooded figure since claimed to be the beach crew. Shohei later claimed that all these accounts had proven false, but the debate was nevertheless recorded. God damn it, King Crimson. King Crucible. Not King Crimson. I keep calling him King Crimson, and maybe that's why he keeps being angry at me. Still though, annoying piece of shit. The Catapus origin. We were born from shell, like the children of the wasp from the spider. The glorious origin. Our life modes descended from light. The origin we found. We were found naked and smeared with muck in the roots of the wood. Shohei's preferred theories are that we are children of apes who walk upright, although his tone here is satirical, or that we consumed not only our parents, which is not the crime of the sky, but also our origin, so that we came from nowhere. Well, the fuck then. Manual for departure. The offer, who identified itself as the Chikadu, claims to be one of the great hooded princes of the land of the river. Hooray for lizardmen. Maybe? Hopefully? Well, the good news is the curse shrivels. The bad news is I really need to get me some contentment. So I'm not gonna read that book, because, I'm just gonna hold off with reading that book until I get some contentment to kill that dread with, before I accidentally kill my run at the fucking last step. I can't translate the other book though, a VAC work that may contain gossip about the various origins of the secret gods. That might be nice. The good news is there was some contentment in that. Okay, so the first tremors. We have profaned the cave. Already the hours. Oh, hang on. Here we are in the cave of the deep sea pool beneath the monastery. Dark waters shiver in the light of our lamps. As we approach, the level of the water suddenly drops. There are no tides in this sea. What's happening? Aside from us getting another watchman's glass. We have profaned the cave. Already the hours withdraw their blessing. The water sinks away, leaving the pool empty. Offerings lie on its bed. We must snatch them up quickly. Already the first tremors have begun. The forerunners of the long-delayed earthquake that the monks held at bay for so long. Well, shit, we just sank a monastery. Oops. Phrygian, Cuisine, Deep Mandate. Holy shit, that is a long time. The wreck of the Christabel. A sea beast came to love this vessel, but when she would not return its affections, the sea beast crushed it. Even now, the beast will not leave the ship's corpse bedecked as it is with occult treasures. We must dive carefully. This would have been really nice to have King Christabel. Storms have lifted the Christabel from the sea to lay it on a reef, but a wreck with such a sad end will carry a curse, and the beast that once loved it remains there still. Well, that notoriety is getting snatched. Or I might get lucky. Apparently it's not getting snatched somehow. Just to exercise it the old-fashioned way. Okay, so a younger sister, the sea. Let's see if this summoning will actually take. Oh, of course it doesn't! Why the fuck would it? We call upon the sister and witch, who cannot be touched. Guys, you just gave me an illness. Do you really need to give me a second one already? The game truly, not once, stops trying to kill you. I'm taking a risk by doing this, but the style is informal, even chatty. No, these doors shouldn't be recorded, but if we had only recorded things before we'd had to leave the 5th history, we would be in a much better state. So here I am writing it down, and if you don't like it, you can sanction me. Well then. Straight up just going, if you have a problem with it, just arrest me. No contentment, unfortunately. I can combine these two, so... I'm going to write this down, and if you have a problem with me writing this down, then just take it through the proper channels, you fucking jerk. The Manual for Departure lists a number of strategies, occult, martial, and political, for quick escapes. Many are irrelevant, obsolete, or enigmatic, but the manual does include a number of powerful techniques for opening portals. And apparently some fucking dread. Freaking jerks. I forgot. I don't know if I forgot is the right term, considering I don't always explore every Port Noon location. The Scar in the Sky. Nim wrote this and came to regret it. Oh boy. A scar would... in first instinct that would be... well, assuming it's even one of the higher... the maximum lores. Uh-oh. Where'd that go? Oh, never mind. I almost had a heart attack. A close eye. The ship still sinks in the sea. A sluggish octopus crawls from our lamplight. The timbers are half coral. Where are the bodies of the crew? Only one survivor was recorded. Did the serpent devour the rest? Please make some content. Thank you. Also made some fascination. I mean, that I have less of a problem with. We found the captain's cabin. The logbook is here, but its pages are a mass of salt-caked pulp. Someone has scratched a closed-eye symbol on the desk where it was chained. Beneath the symbol is a hidden drawer in the desk, which we can wrench open to loot its treasures. A French clave. Book of the Extinguished Heart. The Book of the White Cat. Another arriving call. Unfortunately, no fucking dread. Well, Fort Garrick is next. Fort Garrick. 300 years ago, a rapacious empire claimed an island ripe with tourmalines. Neither the empire nor the island are mentioned in any reputable history, but the governor's fortress remains. Perhaps his treasures remain. For that matter, perhaps he does too. A crumbling sandstone fortress broods over an empty bay. At night, the dead walk. By day, they lie in wait. In a sealed vault, the old governor's hoard awaits its plunderers. Ah, that one I went in the wrong door, that's why. I would like for this to go away fully. So much so that I'm even buying extra good paint for it. Stories brought to Penelope of Cordion by a blind white cat. Okay, it's going away fully. While we're waiting, Formula Vigilant. One who watches does not sleep. One who sleeps watches not. One who watches does not sleep. One who sleeps watches not. Formulae Voluptuous. There exist some pleasures intense enough to corrupt the laws of the physical world. Less inherently interesting. A Centipede Testament. The Centipede came... I'm trying to do too much. The Centipede came up out of the sands and went in under the roots. She found a new home, but now she can't go home. She creeps in everywhere else. Keyholes and histories, and the channels of birth and sight and hearing. Here's what she has to say. Formula Concursum. The Concursum waits at the Lantern of the Monsters. It has been called the Chamber of Ways and also the Chambers of Endings. Its intricacies are probably beyond human comprehension, but these formulae are a first approximation. Anyway, on the origin of Out. The sage and ecstatic Soham, a frequent visitor to the monsters, claimed to have a discourse with the beach crow in person. Soham later insisted on a skybend. Soham's writings veer from poetry to confession. He identifies gods who from flesh, those who were mortal, from blood, those who arose from sacrifice, from light, entry from the glory, and from stone, those who arose before his knowledge. He insists that the moth was the first god who was blood, but later contradicts himself and claims it was the wretched Grail. I see. Formula of physics. Break a thing and you have fragments. Break those fragments and you have dust. Break the dust and then break what remains. Here is fire. The monsters was different before the first god came from light, but never doubted existed, even then. Oh look, even more dread. Tyborn Tor... What the I am... Okay. Also, I swear to God, if this one succeeds and actually gives... Oh wait, there is no curse to give me. Huh. The Scar in the Sky. Nin wrote this and came to regret. Each page of this book contains one word only, but as each page is turned, a knowledge creeps in. That is almost certainly winter, first of all. Fuck's sake, man! Annoying spirits. The Lionsmith's name. The Lionsmith is young by the standards of the hours, but old by the standards of war. His names are recent recruits, and their recitation has a savage power. I don't know. The final page is crowded. Each reader of the book records the same word. Now it is my turn. Holy shit, the right intercalate. New right. Intercalate. Intercalate? How do you say that? Wolf word. So it was winter. The Book of the White Cat. The aviform owls, the crow, the laughing thrush, the dove, and the twin kites have been known to meet in the mountains north of Cordian at a place called the Roost to exchange gossip. I think I've heard that earlier. Penelope indicates that mortals who hear their words directly are obliterated, but claims that her cat goes unnoticed and returns to her with rumors from the owl's meetings. Just once I would like to have such a summoning succeed. stories that Penelope claims as our gossip are fragmentary and confusing. Accounts of contests where hope and dread and the Shadowless Empire are used as game pieces, agendas of ruin and remembrance from no known history. The most interesting element is the protective incantations she records at the end of the book, after she worries that the Hours might in fact learn of her spying. Inan Kapigigan Lupir Gargi Krips, in which 4 enigmatic figures tell the stories they've heard over the years at the Roost, the secret location where the Aviform Hours congregate. Why are there so many people telling about that place? Y'all need to find a new mountain to gossip on. Uh-oh. Well, one of my summons escaped. That's unfortunate. It's not the end of the world, but I would rather it didn't. The Governor's last move, the Vault of Fort Garrick. A mosaic has been laid out as a game board of stupendous size and complexity, a map of the Evening Isles. The sea tiles are lapis, the islands are nephrite and obsidian, there are toy ships and tin soldiers. The Isle of St. Thomas is sieged, Raven Isle is crowded with black chess queens. Ina, has not the beach crow shared his treasures? Garki, not the rarest. He takes those things most precious which he claims found, not stole. Among the game pieces, items of true power have been used as temporary markers. Was this an attempt to hide them, or did the Governor know nothing of their real worth? One more extremely powerful tool. And all that remains is Port Noon itself. Wait, I can explore on those? How have I never tried that? Huh. Well, that's unhelpful. Fucking raw profits. Or noon. So, in case it wasn't obvious, the fucking raw prophet escaped and turned one of my reason into dread. And I can't get that reason back now, ever. Port Noon. There is a choice that every immortal must make. Enter the service of an hour, or return to the mortal ranks, or face extinction. The sunny little island port called Noon is the exile realm of all the immortals who refused all those options. If we can cross the sea to Port Noon, if we can defeat the Long who do not die, if we can breach their private vaults, still we must resist the temptation of visions. I'm sending 2 names in, it'll be fine. Of course there's another dread clock going, why wouldn't there be? Well, it's not quite it, unless you mean the other thing you were telling me about is... Wouldn't that start on the hour instead of on the half hour? Ah, yep, this is it, the last location I can explore. The beach crow, Capigigan Lupir suggests, is not only a thief, but also a spy and even a voyeur. He has hidden the memory of secret couplings among the hours and their names in the corners of the house, as treasures to gloat on. There is particularly fevered speculation on a liaison between the Ringdew, that fervent hour of the wood, and a mare in the tree, who sometimes has been this witch's sister. And look, even more dread, but at least this time there was some fascination to go with it, so I can kill both. My deeds, my powers, my achievements, and the injustices perpetrated against me. I need to make some money. Recitation of the Lost Hours. 6 are gone. 5 came from stone and 1 from light. All went to nowhere. Still their memories have power, and now we call upon it. Also, long. It is very hard to kill anyone who is past the Tristy Pit door, and here are quite a lot of anyones, but perhaps we can deceive one, or prey upon someone's appetite. Formula of Phidian. Serpents are the visitors which may not be denied. And an unresolved ambiguity, which is quite a wall of text. Hokobald boasts of his... Wait, hang on. My deeds, my powers, my achievements, and the injustices perpetrated against me. Hokobald of Poxend, formerly of the Order of Immortals called by some the House of Lete, settles scores. Hokobald boasts of his royal descent and insists that the magics of the Forge are more effective when practiced by those of noble blood. Unresolved ambiguity. In the... How do I do? In the months, the hours strive one against another. As the struggles are resolved, they iron out the impossible, exalt the possible, tie the fraying braids of what has been into one golden ribbon of future. Everything is resolved. History becomes past. There are, however, exceptions. Boxent complains of his condemnation by the Ordo Limia. He acknowledges that he has undergone alterations after the consummation of that particular delight, but insists that these changes are both elegant and inevitable. Who is the fire and who the fuel? He asks rhetorically. The time of division, in which Amira Zara prophesies the events later known as the Intercalate, when the hour called Sun in Splendor will be divided. We call upon the Forge of Days, who will end all nights. Oh god damn it, now I'm going crazy and getting depressed. The sun will be divided that it might not sire children. Still its children shall be 4 in number, and its children shall be 7 in number, and its children shall also be numberless. The numberless shall open the way for the 7, and the 7 shall consume the 4. What the fuck? Well, that's a can of worms and a half. Well, the good news is my dread is resolving, so I'll get a fleeting reminiscence. The bad news is fascination. I can't capture that in time, can I? Oh well. And meanwhile, the 5th eye curse is hitting me. Potentially, at least. I'll take the forbidden epic. Realistically, I would want, Amira prophesies 4 great wars before the second dawn, when the sun in splendor shall rise again. She cautions, sunrise is blood, and I foretell now that the sun shall rise from blood, yet not the color of the blood, nor the hour of night. She includes a rite that she speculates will be necessary for the second dawn. Well the fuck then. It also gives me some fascination and some dread. Which in this case I actually appreciate. The Book of the Extinguished Heart. A Book of Melancholy Prophecy. That almost would have to be winter. What's the other one? Preservation, that's hard. Meanwhile, I'm using all my bad reputation to sell the fuck out. And the curse shrivels. And that is the last exploration I will have to do. So now my first order of business is not getting arrested. These notoriety cards will eventually get me arrested if I don't clear them. If the hunter catches too many of them. Because every time he catches one, he turns it into evidence, which will then last way too fucking long. In the days of the Shadowless Kings, Ennis Lazali was executed for prophesying the division of the sun. If any of his captives grew long, they probably feel rather abashed now. Lazali indicates that the sun will be divided in the Meliae by the Forge of Days, armed with the love in her heart. If I am lucky, it'll grab one of the 6 Mystique instead of some of this notoriety, and the notoriety might fade by itself a little bit. Of course I'm not lucky, why would I be? All the way from Galatia. This is the secret subcellar of the Hotel Ciervo. The walls are whitewashed, the floor is freshly scrubbed, shelves bulge with oddities. A caged man with a wild beard peers morosely from the corner. Again? He says. Or are you a different lot? No, I don't need rescuing, thank you. It's much worse out there. Grab what you can, quickly, the caged man hisses. They'll be back soon. Only please leave the Cladius. I brought that all the way from Galatia back in the day. There, that shelf's good. Hurry, they're coming. You can escape up the delivery stairs. Alright then, dude. Calm down. Thanks for the help, I suppose, but, you good? Love will not be the cause of the sun's death, but rather envy. Envy will not be the cause of the sun's death, but rather thirst. Thirst shall not be the cause of his death, but curiosity. Curiosity shall not be his end, rather it will be love. What the fuck does that mean? Aside from clear this before it causes problems. And one final text to translate. Commandments for the preservation of all that exists. Black Ailey, Damascene matriarch of the Sisterhood of the Knot, was imprisoned by the Emperor Didius Julianus. She reportedly instructed that these secret doctrines be recorded in writing to preserve against their loss. Regrettably, the story goes, Didius Julianus ordered that the work be entombed with her in an unmarked sepulchre. and after that the real work can start. As soon as I get rid of the tentative evidence also, because that might be annoying. Ely describes powerful protective incantation to be used in a variety of circumstances. We also have another complete row of lore to read. Velvet Charm. The Velvet always answers no, but we can shelter in that no like beasts in the crook of a tree. The Flower Maker cannot touch you. He cannot find you. He always has what you desire. Even an elaboration of the properties of his works can draw the attention of the owls. Vine-crowned Moth King hatched in the thigh of the Thunder King who is dead. Drink up his belly lymph. These are the sights you'll see. Oh. Alexis, what the hell are you smoking? The Ascent of Knives is the bloodiest of the Watchman's tests. Those who pass it and are dead enter the service of the sun in rags. Those living who pass it are a little closer to glory. Furnace Pale. This is the hymn the heat sings to the iron. If we imitate it faithfully enough, we will parch our lips and crisp our tongue. But oh, the rewards. The Alignment of Murder. These are the arts that ensure an ending. To the point, the division of names. When the sun in splendor was divided, its names fractured too. Here are the shards of their names, which once were whole. Liminal Evocation. One god who was stone remains, and she watches all fresh ones. The Vagabond's Wife. The Vagabond is the 1 hour who can never enter the monsters, but she goes everywhere else. And if you know the history, and if you believe her boasts, she's the only one who knows all the histories. Sometimes she lets someone record her travels. It is essential that these protections be completed every 4th year to defend against the entry of the worms and against the avidity of the wave and the wound. In the current history at least, there is no indication that these protections have been performed regularly for at least the last 1,000 years. That's quite a bit. I'm gonna go back in the Peacock store. Just in case I can make another Portnoy anecdote just to have a complete set. I'm also gonna find out what happens if I bury this paradoxical curio. Because now I'm kind of curious. The unceasing mysteries. The Grail ripped the Thunderskin from flesh. The sister and witch was born from 2 wombs. The velvet woke when the wood roots tasted blood. The heart is blood's drum, and here is its secret doctrine. Devouring mysteries. The Grail was the first god who was blood. The Flower Maker came from light. The Beach Crow was flesh. Hunger and greed and yearning are the matrix of appetite, and here is their secret doctrine. God damn you, Leo. The real hours don't meet the gods from nowhere, but... Well, never mind, I'm getting interrupted. Perfect Frost is not the one I wanted. Keep breaking mirrors until we get the one I do. Or two I do, I guess. But the ring view meets the mare in the tree in where the wood grows lush. Their couplings are forbidden, and forbidden things have power, and this is the power story of their couplings. Apparently, if you bury a paradoxical curio, you get a book that teaches you fusing. What the fuck? That's not worth it at all. I have brought a paraffin lamp and a shovel. I placed the one on a flat rock and used the other to shift the blackened sucking mud. The work is hard and it seeps back quickly. As I am about to place the curio in the hole, I spied a corner of an iron lockbox. I unearth it after a struggle. It's curious. Perhaps the beach crow has rewarded me. Perhaps it's only a bizarre coincidence. I leave the curio in the hole as I had planned, just in case. And now a night out in the memory of the Oblivions. Marginal notes in the atlas describe the real or metaphorical locations where the Society of Oblivions chose to feast. The names of some of these places match public houses that still exist in the city today. The Seven Stars, the Old Wheel, Saturn's Graves. I never even considered that I could use the Secret Histories items to go exploring with. Which seems so obvious now that I say it out loud, but, you know. Hooray for more dread. Not that I have to dread anything more than needing to constantly fix these goddamn mirrors. At Saturn's Graves, I drink a little incautiously, and when I return home my head is swimming. I dreamed that night of a hot-eyed man walking beside me at the edge of a dark wood. Our third rule, he hisses, was an absolute prescription on union between a man and a woman. The danger, you see. We had no wish to fall prey to the sin of the Ampusi, but of course other couplings were permitted, between woman and woman or man and man. Let me tell you something of them, and he whispers a secret into my ear. So just the formula of voluptuous. Not that useful, I guess. But hey, it's something. Now I am well and truly out of reasonable work to do. Out of reasonable collecting. So it is time to start gathering some... Damn it. Gathering some influences. Maybe go back to the Forgotten Chronicle. See if I can go and get some more Martenside base. Not that I think I can. I don't really need to destroy his evidence because I don't really plan on committing any more crimes. At least not crimes that the Suppression Bureau will catch any wind of. So Mr. Raw Prophet can go home. I just realized I could have sacrificed him. And after that, the work can begin. Huh, nice. Well, nice for me anyway. Oh god damn it, I let one of my health decay again. Oh Joe, you really need to pay more attention to your sicknesses. Anyway. The Rite of the Crucible Soul. The final fulfillment of a desire is often a conclusion. It is not enough to hope. I stand or fail on my deeds. I must declare myself known. No. The Sighing Key. This rite is the key that will allow the Red Grail to enter. I will be changed forever. And here we have an incarnadescence. The very air is succulent with possibility. Pierce it and it might bleed. The Illuminate Mysteries. The Meniscate, the Madrigad, and the Flower Maker and the Forge of Days are the gods from light. There is a fifth, but now we know it as not. But now we know it is not the Watchman. Yet the Watchman shares a secret doctrine with those five, and here is that doctrine. The Mysteries of Making. The Forge of Days, the Meniscate, and the Madrigad are gods from light. Mercury, silver, and gold are the seeds of the work, and here is their secret doctrine. The Mysteries of Force. The Colonel and the Lightsmith are gods who are flesh, but the Wolf Divided is a god who was blood. Cunning, strength, and agony are the three roots of victory, and here is their secret doctrine. The Wolf Lord. When the forge is cold, and the glory is dark, and the wood is dust, perhaps the Wolf Divided will rest, but only until it can devour itself. This word almost expresses the Divided One's hatred. The rite is complete. The marks of the Grail are upon me. The first mark is what I have said, and the second is what I have done. If I inspect my body, I'll find the third. I thrill with new appetite. The Red Grail has warmed me. Its thirsts have begun to dry my mouth and itch my hands. I know this to be the third mark. So now do I bring it to a right? No, because that's still desire 6. I am not entirely sure of what to do now. I guess I can try going through this back door, see if it brings me any insight. Doesn't look like it. Well, the first thing I do is kill all this restlessness, because Jesus Christ. The Mysteries of Opening. The mother of ants is the child of two wizards. The horned axe is the last god from stone. The meniscate was born in the moon from light, the wound and the threshold, and the revelation are all the gate's aspects, and here is their secret doctrine. So I guess by the fact that these are all just listing the hours, you can build a collection of which hour is dominating which aspect. Okay, so it has taken this. Now what happens? I see. Well, we're going back to committing crimes, guys. know I wanted to take that. I probably didn't. Without the life of others, my own life will feed on itself. I see. The desert inside. Apparently that takes one of my glimmerings, which I guess I'm lucky I had that one, because that sounds like it might have taken my health. My fluids thin, my flesh desiccates, my changes uncoil, my passions dim. I am becoming less than I was. So, apparently I need a bunch of prisoners to feed to this now. I see. I suppose the red grail does refer to blood. And also the evidence has been destroyed. That's good at least. Next time I get some restlessness, I need to cure this. Of course he's here when I'm kidnapping someone. Why wouldn't he be? The good news is he might snatch a Mystique, so... I guess it's not the worst. I'm gonna keep this raw prophet around for a second longer. Fuck me, man. Just want one Vagabond's map. Yes, I can read these as well. The kingskin bolted up. In the deep forests, the monarch gave up the last thing they had to give, and so the tool was shaped to keep their land forever safe. Then, of course, an empire stole it, as empires do. Sounds like it wasn't that effective then. Chalice murmurs. On those nights when we drink from the chalice, we are not certain. Afterwards, what we have done. But we may be assured it is what always has been done, and if we do not remember, our children will in their redmost dreams. The Alakapurine, that word, Shears. In the north there is a city of great wealth, where dwelt a protector of the world. One day he fell silent. These shears were used to take from him first his hair, and then his fingers, and then what remained. Ouch. Right of the map's edge. Carcass work. Alright, you can't. Why can't you? Also, map's edge is not the correct one to do with. Not a victim. Wait, is it this one? That's an ingredient. That's lore. I'm not sacrificing lore. Fuck you, game. Sunset Ride. If only because it lets me. You wanna cooperate? Because it's not gonna cooperate. I'm going to the white door. Fuck this shit. That is unhelpful. Oh look, the hunter is here again. Well, this time he's not gonna find anything worth making evidence out of, so. Oh well. just summon something. Or alternatively, just do the freaking ritual. I guess I can sacrifice some Trafalgar. Anyway, a Watchman's class. This is the mirror into which one does not look twice. In fact, let's do that. Let's find a rite where I can just offer a refulgent. The rite of the sea's quenching. Carcass mark. Oh, I need a vital pigment. That's what's. The rite calls on the witch and sister to close a gap between what is and what might be. The adept pours or hurls an offering into the water, preferably, but not necessarily, the sea. I just realized I might... God damn you, Dojal. Why do you keep doing this to yourself? A thirst for blood? If only it were so simple. I will drain them far more deeply. And now I have a fascination, so we're gonna instantly use that to summon a raw prophet, who may hopefully get rid of the evidence I'm about to create. And have already created. Another mark. When I am done, the satisfaction is deep as the moon in the sea. Another mark, buzzing. The fourth mark is the intermittent improvements to my skin. In patches, along my arms or down my thighs, it is clear, soft, glowing. Like the skin of a child new stepped from spring water, but only in patches. This might turn a little bit graphic at the end. I mean, to be fair, it kind of already has, but you know. Well, of course, the Raw Prophet's being a jerk. Why wouldn't he be? It's the Raw Prophet. If there's one thing he's good at, it's being a jerk. carcass spark, a remnant of a greater radiance, glowing softly as decay. Just possibly a mote of the divided sun. And we have more exotic cravings. And instantly I'm gonna need another prisoner. The furious sliver. When the lionsmith turned against the colonel, he crushed his own sword in his fist. Each tiniest fragment of that weapon still thrills with rage. And the division bell, first its voice, and after, nothing. When I am done, the satisfaction, another marked button. Extensions and the eruptions is the nickname for the fifth mark. I have developed 2 new fingers, and only one is on my hand. I have a fistula in the crook of my knee. Pressure upon its edges is a soft glow of pleasure. I think that the bulge is at the back of. I think the bulge at the back of my, at the small of my back is a new organ. I mean, I don't know if I agree with that one, Valent. It sounds like it could very well be extremely horrifying. There are keys that open doors, then there are keys that destroy them. The Frangiglaive. One notoriety that I would like to get rid of as soon as possible. Oh, I'm not contending for mastery, I don't actually need a raw profit. I think it is time that I summon Azim as soon as the season of desires comes along. Optimism is the spice that saves life. Actually, I don't need to destroy that. Do it anyway. Ideally, I would want to get the Port Noon anecdote just to read its text. But hey, if need be, I can just use Wikipedia for that one. Well, not Wikipedia, but the wiki. Witch Kiston. The formula remains unchanged since the days Hecate was worshipped at the crossroads. Leafy. A dark and syrupy liquor favored in an unnamed forest villages. The tongue and the eye, and now we begin. Forget your name, forget your skin. Glassfinger toxin. What is within, without. What is without, within. A poison sacred to the votaries of the Meniscate. Oh, I'm working on her commission, that's why. Well, it's coming, the season of ambitions. So I guess it is time, and I hope he cooperates. And here he is, the guest of honor. God damn it, of course I would be here now. I guess I can keep Yazim here longer by talking to him though, so... The sixth mark is identified as the point when I am a handspan taller. I swell in every member and direction. My skin is radiant velvet. Pits of flesh cushion my eyes. I am very thirsty. I could have just... Oh, god damn it, Dojo. And here's hoping that another season of ambitions can be averted for a bit. Because it would be quite irritating to have to start over. Just because I really wanted to see what the text would say. Alternatively, I could just kidnap someone for the safety. What's the worst that could happen? So they're gonna arrest me? Not on the amount of evidence that one kidnapping gives them, they won't. Xanthotica. In certain operations of the Forge, sunlight is said to overcome moonlight, as we pass from the Meniscate to the Madrigal. The essence was mercury, once. Now it's the rich gold of a summer afternoon. Pretty! Labific Grain. Labites are the youngest of the linesmith's servants. When rendered to powder, they retain their potency, but not their beauty. Wolfstrom. Far too cold to ever melt in anything but the hottest noonday sun, it will, very gradually, consume human flesh. Lovely. Stenic Venom. From time to time, the mother of ants has also been called the daughter of venoms. The substance opens the body in uncountable places. The true blood of Saint Januarius. The Thunderskin protected the one they called Januarius against perils from every path. To this day, his blood keeps dancing. The Riding Call. Lay your hand on these tattered folds and feel their warmth. Leave your hand upon it, and it will explore the possibilities of embrace. The Holiest Hemolymph. Faint traces of an enigmatic substance spilled in the commission of an ancient crime. Tightly sealed in a glass ampoule. Who will remember the barber's son? Ichor vitreous, a pale and watchful fluid that can be gathered sometimes when the door in the eye is opened. Iotic essence. In the later operations of the forge, the Madrigal yields to the true Forge of Days, and the essence begins to redden. Someday, perhaps, it will not, but for now, we have this. A Skeptodon fact. It is rare for the Lionsmith to make Skeptodons now, but they are very difficult to kill and they live a very long time. Watchworms, a tiny pot of stunted, desiccated larval remains from the first worm war, rank with the power that inhabits dead hours. And Azon, store this only in containers of a pure element, and never permitted to grow warm. Perhaps it isn't the final solvent that the alchemist sought, but it will do for our purposes. Hey look, I was right to try and kidnap someone. Or succeed, I guess. Yeah, converting clues to evidence. You can't stop me. Because it is time to do the right. I'm gonna let you talk one more cycle so I can read the Port Noon anecdote. And then we end this. And we give up our mortality. A Port Noon anecdote. Port Noon is where the long go to enjoy the sea and the sun, to drink from the spring that makes them forgotten, and to stay out of trouble. Mostly out of trouble. The stories you can hear in the Hotel Ciervo are Golden Dude, quintuple distilled toasts to memory, served straight up. And now we do our final rite. Not the Watchman's, I mean, it doesn't really matter what rite I do at the moment. But preferably one where I can, one where I kill someone. Or, well, sacrifice someone. Not the rite of the Crucible Soul. The seventh mark is the Feast of the True Birth. I am close. Close as blood to the heart. I will need all the power of the Grail I can muster to at least the 36th intensity. And that is... I am swollen with the lives of others. The seams of my body begin to rupture. Now I invoke the Red Grail, who is the mother of mountains, who consumes, who is the source. In her name I will give birth to myself. The Triscupid gate opens. I will be immortal, along, favored by the Grail. If this had taken less long, I would start on the second half of this journey. But, which is the Apostle run, but with 10 minutes left to go to my usual end time, I think I might just end with this. Move. For a little while I dwell in the high rooms of the monsters, and then I return through the Triscuit gate, and I tear free of the sticky rags of my old flesh. My new body is smooth without and red within like a sweet fruit. My limbs are strong as cables. My senses are knives. I will not grow old. I will walk the world in service of the Grail, feasting, growing. Perhaps I will rebel. Perhaps one day I will rise even harder. Congratulations on a standard sensation victory. You have wrestled the game to its knees. There are other paths. And if I click begin another descent, which I will do very briefly just to lock this in, the Apostle Obstinate path opens. Our delight is grown powerful, and they have powerful enemies. They will remain in hiding while I serve as their vessel. This is how you go from this victory to the next one, and it's what we will be doing next Sunday. I will lock this in, however. It's kind of weird to write my own name, but I'm just gonna write my own name again. I can always change that later. But anyway, you have now seen a full run of Cultist Simulator and most of the basic lore. So the game hasn't actually explained to me what a crime in the sky is yet, which I'm kind of surprised by. I know what it is, and I think that this path might explain what it is. So I guess we'll find that out then. But Trilobadbot, my script, please. Technically, there's not much point in me raiding someone because but I'm gonna raid Nadian anyway. Nadian is a person who is playing Ender Magnolia. Go have fun with her. Is my voice coming through? Yes, it is. Don't be a stranger, because that's my job. I'll see you next time.
Jojo, thank you for the raid. How are you doing? How was your stream?